Hello friends, so let us look at locomotion in fishes. Fishes will locomote using fins, and these fins are very important in functioning to balance them, functioning to steer them from one position to the other. And we have different kinds of fins. These can be paired or these can be unpaired. Of course, locomotion in water by fish also means that they require proper arrangement of muscles and the supply of energy. Simple understanding of laws of physics will tell us that when an object is moving in water, it must always try to avoid friction as much as possible. This is the major problem in water. And therefore, their shape is something which is called as fusiform. It will be narrow in the front or anteriorly and narrow at the posterior end. So this is called as fusiform shape. It's a natural shape which has evolved according to the laws of physics. Especially the fast moving fish will always have this shape. Secondly, the skin always secretes a lot of mucus. This avoids friction. Another word or way to describe friction is called drag. Let's look at a diagram of fish. You can see that this is fusiform. It is narrow at the anterior end, narrow at the posterior end, bulging in the middle. Fins are powered by muscles, and entire body of the fish is muscled in such a way so as to extract a lot of movement and power from these muscles, especially the caudal muscle. The movement of the fish is largely through caudal fin. So some fins are paired and some fins are unpaired. Just like we have a pair of girdles, our girdles are pectoral girdles and pelvic girdles. In the same way, fish will also have pectoral fins and pelvic fins which are paired. So you can see the fins on the lateral sides, a pair of them, two of them, whereas the dorsal, caudal and ventral are unpaired. Let's use a different color to show both. This is the pectoral fin and this is the pelvic fin. The pelvic fin's position is not always the same. It can move a little more anteriorly or a little more posteriorly. This is pectoral fin. This is the pelvic fin. They are important in balance. So even if a fish is in a particular column and it just wants to remain stationary at that position, only the pectoral fins will keep moving. The other fish don't seem to move. Try to observe next time when you are watching fish in an aquarium. Pectoral fins can be modified. They have different shapes. Some are long, some are short. In some fish, they can be converted into cup-shaped structures. For example, in Boleophthalmus. So these are essential for balance. Boleophthalmus is also called Mudskipper. So in Mudskipper, which is seen on the shores of muddy seashores, we can see that the pectoral fins are highly modified that allow them to jump. So these fins can be modified. So this is the dorsal fin, because it is on the dorsal side. Dorsal fin is often supported by sharp spines. In the case of bony fishes, these are called rays. Sometimes there will be two dorsal fins, first dorsal and second dorsal. Sometimes that second dorsal is made into a series of finlets. So such variations can be seen. This is the ventral fin. Similarly, there can be ventral finlets, small series of ventral finlets. These are supported by bone or cartilage, as the case may be. And they are very important for giving direction. And the direction of the fish where it wants to move can be altered by movement of those muscles that control the dorsal and ventral fins. More importantly, dorsal fin, which is very crucial for direction. The power for movement of a fish comes from the caudal muscles, which control the caudal fins. The entire movement is from the back. This starts from the central region, but the power is slowly radiated towards the posterior end. When we look at caudal fins, we actually see three categories. One is a very primitive category of caudal fin, in which the vertebral column inside, containing the caudal vertebra, is very symmetrical. Similarly, the supporting of the surrounding fin with the two lobes, which we call as the epicaudal and the hypocaudal. Hypo means lower, epi means above. Both these are symmetrical. This is only present in a few of the fishes as they evolved in ancient fishes. We call this as protocircle. In the second category, We see this in the case of shark. Sharks do not have a swim bladder. And because they don't have a swim bladder, they need to continuously keep swimming. And therefore, their caudal fin shows an asymmetry both internally and externally. This is called heterocircle. That is the second category. The epicaudal lobe is much more well developed, longer, because the main power is from this end. It prevents it from keeling over. So there is external as well as internal asymmetry. That is the epicaudal lobe. This is the hypocaudal lobe. Once again, to repeat, this is specifically seen among cartilaginous species and sharks that are fast moving, because if they don't move, they will sink because they don't have a swim bladder that helps fish like bony fish to keep themselves buoyant. And the third category that evolved in bony fishes, externally the fins appear symmetrical, but internally the caudal vertebra is slightly upturned towards the epicaudal region. This we call as homocircle type of fin. So you can see over here that the caudal vertebra is slightly upturned, the last one, towards the dorsal side. So there is internal asymmetry, but both the epicaudal and hypocaudal lobes are equal. Caudal fins also have shapes like they can be very deep for fishes that are fast moving. They can be truncated. So these shapes depend upon the speed of the fish. Like tunas classically have fast moving fish, bony fish. They classically have a forked caudal fin. This helps them to prevent drag. So these are the shapes of the caudal fins. Which depends upon the kind of position in water, whether they are column feeders or bottom feeders or surface feeders. It depends upon this and depends upon how fast they need to move. The nature of the caudal fin will change. This is an example of adaptation. So with that we come to the end of this topic. Thank you.